Alright, good evening guys. Let's see if everything is in place here. Let's move this a bit. Yep. So, desk is completely in the picture. For some live demoing. Camera of the mic is working as far as I can see. Good evening Zen-Claude, good evening other watchers. I think I prepared everything for this night's weekly show. There was a lot of preparations because some people reminded me of some important topics to feature tonight. So I couldn't forget them, of course. Let's see if my script is complete. I think so. Some last minute things have been added now. So I think we can just lift off. Let's do that then. And there's a lot to lift off tonight, so let's get it going. I hope everyone is in a good mood. Good night, good evening Thomas, Jürgen, good evening, welcome. Maybe I should just put the intro tune with me in the back. I'm not sure. We will see. Can always change this of course, but live shows will never go as smooth as I want to, and I've seen that before with lots of other guys. But let's see if we can change it tonight. As you can see here, I have some things ready for in a minute when we come to those things on the program. Let's just quickly go over the. I'm getting messages from some other topics. Get over the program tonight. The giveaway status of the Pro 1 has been finished. So after we reached 900 subscribers, it was a lot of work to actually get in touch with the lucky winner of the Pro 1 interface. Because YouTube changed its policy last month actually, at the 8th of July. And since then you cannot email YouTubers directly. So if you want to reach them, the only thing you can do is just leave a comment on one of their videos if they have uploaded any video. And if not, it's a real pain in the ass. And anyway, I got to I think the fourth person I sent a message, and he replied almost immediately, so I'm really happy with sending him the stuff. I'm going far too in depth at the moment. We'll get to that in a second. Yes, it's a coincidence I'm wearing this t-shirt, and I will tell you guys, maybe some of you know already, why this is a very cool t-shirt for this week's news. Which is off topic, but it's very cool and it's nostalgic as well. Some other things, some off-topic things like working on 4 of my Xiaomi Mi4C phones. Well, not all of them, three of them I worked on this today. I'm going to do something about my health, which is important to me, and I think it's important to all of you as well, because I need to do more in the same time, and because of all the frustration with 2 kids and a family, sometimes I cannot, and I need to do something about that, and it's my health that's in my way. I worked on the things in the house and storage and that sort of things. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the finishing touch of the ByteDelight workplace, the pick and place machine, which will be ordered very soon now. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do next week and what my focus will be then and why. I still have to add a lot of new products to the web shop, which some of you may be waiting for, which I promised I think 2 weeks ago now. Then the on-topic things like the Vega Plus. ZX Spectrum screws still in the ordering process. The new MB03 interface that was announced last week by LMN128, which real name is Jan Kuzak, I think, from the Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. I've spoken to him in the past by email and was in good contact with him, so I'm very happy with the news he announced. I'm going to show you some of that. I'm going to talk about the Harlequin 128K kits. I have a couple of them here. I'm going to show you this assembled one and the issues I'm having with that. And why it's not available in the webshop at this moment, and there are a couple of reasons for that. I'm going to talk about what the best way is to drill holes in your ZX Spectrum case, because someone asked me about it, because he has a Harlequin kit and he wants to have a hole for the RGB socket, of course, which is very understandable. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. I'm not sure if I will actually drill a hole, because we have to sacrifice a case for that, and I don't know if that's needed at the moment. Anyway, we'll show how I am doing that. And that's about it for the program. So let's start off with the welcome. Hola, welcome everybody. Goedenavond for the German people. Goedenavond for the Dutch people. And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone in their native language. If I am, just let me know. I'm just adding some things so I will not forget in the future. And a lot of people are saying good evening as well. Tim, Jürgen, I think I said Jürgen good evening already. Dieter, Stuart, Ben, Jan, and Cheesy Booths. I have no idea who that is. Black Country Me as well. I don't know. Well, my name on YouTube is now ByteDelight, so people may not know who is behind that as well, so that's not a problem. If you want to tell us who you are in real life, it's more easy for me to say good evening to you as well. Michiel, good evening. A lot of people watching at the moment. Let's see, the first topic. The subscription status. Well, at the moment we are at I think 930 subscribers, which is pretty awesome if you ask me. I really like that so many people subscribe to the channel already. Of course I want to reach the 1,000 subscribers, and I don't think it will take that much of time, because I'm giving away another product at 1,000 subscribers, which is a very well selling product at the moment, the ZX HD with a Raspberry Pi. Of course we'll send a complete set then, which remind me of another topic I can add here. Alright, yes, let's get back to the program, otherwise I don't know what I have to say. Alright, yes, Miguel Angel Valls won the Pro 1 interface for the 900 subscribers. Actually, I was in contact with him last week, so a couple of days ago only, and it was a quick response from him. He's from Spain, and he just received the Pro 1 this afternoon. He told me, and by email, and he will make an unboxing video of it, which will be available soon on YouTube. And of course, I will share it with everyone on Facebook, and maybe next week I will show it in the weekly show. So at the moment we're at 930, which will take only a couple of weeks until we will reach the 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you want to get a chance to win, of course, and also if you want to share this with other people, maybe in Germany or somewhere else, in other Facebook groups where I'm not in, because I can always add myself to more Facebook groups, but I'm getting mad with the groups I'm in already. Of course I like it a lot to read along with all the things that are being discussed there. But if you want to share the 1,000 subscribers giveaway, then please do. And it's a very simple URL. It's just youtube.com/ByteDelight, which is possible nowadays, you know, and which is very cool as well. Let me check if I'm saying that correctly. youtube.com/ByteDelight. Yes. Oh man, I like that a lot. Some other channels still need to do that. I don't think they know that that's possible. You can use your own name as in the YouTube URL, which is great, I think. Right. Rob, good evening, Rob. Excellior, good evening. I know your real name, Darren. So that's not a problem. We have been in contact a lot lately. Steve, good evening. Let's see. Tonight's snack. Well, I got a lot of comments about the sweet snacks from the last weeks, so I thought, well, let's take a healthy snack then tonight. And I did. And I like this vegetable because I think it's, let me see if you can see it here, because it has the peculiar taste, and I like this a lot. I really have a good sense of taste. I think I cook sometimes if I have the time, and I just like things like celery, which is tonight's snack. And I have no idea how that looks on camera if I'm going to eat this, but the good thing is it's a bit sweet as well. And I just finished my coffee, so I only have empty cups of coffee here. So, but it's not a problem. I have enough coffee in my body at the moment. Sushi, yeah, could be nice as well. But I'm really I'm doing this because there's a good reason for that. I want to work on my health during the next weeks, and I will come back to that in a second. Anyway, can you hear the noise? I was actually thinking this is also a nostalgic snack from my experience, because my mother cooked this when I was young with mashed potato and some other things. I think pork or something, I'm not sure. But I remember the taste from back then, and my mother could cook very well because she's from Indonesia, and yeah, well, people are in the kitchen the whole day there to cook meals. So I'm very spoiled with food, and I have a very strong taste for lots of things. So I really like that. Let's see, and yes, I like peppers and that sort of thing. Where was I? Yes. Well, about a T-shirt. Does anyone of you has an idea where I'm going to with this T-shirt? Because there was some news last week, and I'm going to show you in a bit, which was so awesome, and I didn't expect that at all. Where's my link? Oh, there it is. Just a sec, I'm moving. I really need some more displays here, man. It's not enough. Let's see if I can move this a bit. Yes, yes. No, it's not about Borg or something. Well, maybe it is. It's about Borg. Yes, the shirt is about Borg, of course. It's a cool Borg shirt. But no, I'm talking about the video I'm going to show you, and I hope you can hear it, because it's so cool that this was in Las Vegas last week. Oh, maybe I said too much now. Main scene with right screen capture. Let's see if this works. Ah, there he is. Yes. Okay, let's just play this, and I hope you can hear it.
What I have to tell you now. Jean-Luc Picard is back.
So if you haven't seen this, Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart announced a couple of days ago only, I think 5 days ago, 4 days ago, 6 days ago already. He announced that he will be back in Star Trek, and there's some confusion now about if he's going to create a brand new show, or that he's just joining. Man, I forgot. Discovery, of course. Sorry, I had to dig in my mind for a second there. But actually, some people say he's really going to be featured in a brand new Star Trek series, and it gave me the feeling that maybe he watched Discovery and he hated it so much. He also told in that show, and you really have to watch the complete stream about the announcement. So if you haven't, just go to YouTube and type in Jean-Luc Picard or Patrick Stewart or something. and you can see the show from last week. He also said he eventually he didn't want to be in another Star Trek at all. But he was talking with some people, and the downside of it all was that he tried to get some small roles in movies and other stuff, and people just didn't want him in movies because everybody knows him as Captain Picard now, and that was the answer he got a couple of times, and that was a pity for him. And but some people have been talking to him about Star Trek again. And he told that he has been watching Star Trek episodes from the Next Generation only, of course, for about a couple of months now. I think during the last half year, and he was because of that and because of the people he speaks on the streets and who like him and like the Next Generation series and that sort of things. He was so touched by some people and their experiences with the show from back then, that he decided to get talking about a new series. So, as far as I know, it will be a series next to Discovery, and I think that will be great because I really don't like Discovery that much myself. My son does, but because Discovery is his first show from Star Trek he has been seeing now. Anyway, I'm really curious about that. Yeah, the history of Picard, maybe. So we'll see about Picard. I hope there will be some space thingies in there, of course. We'll see. Yes, I have the ZX Spectrum Next. I have one of the boards here. I actually had two, and I sold one because I don't need two. But I didn't yet have got it working completely. I did some installation of the SD card. I still had some issues in booting, and I still really don't know how it works. It's not just by powering up the machine like original ZX Spectrum and it works. No, it's a lot of work, and it's not as straightforward as you know from a real ZX Spectrum from back then. By the way, the Next is a real ZX Spectrum in my opinion, so nothing bad about that. It's just a far more complicated machine than an original one from 35 years ago. Alright, so that's enough about Resistance is Futile. Maybe we'll see some new episodes with the Borg. I'm very curious about that. Okay, some other things from last week that are a bit off topic as well. Man, we had a second heat wave here in Holland, and I think most of Europe had the second heat wave last week. It just didn't seem to end. So I think for over 1.5 months now, maybe, several countries have had temperatures to about 40 degrees, which is very hot for people in Holland. But it's a lot worse in countries like Portugal and Greece and some other countries. And I know some people there, so I really feel with them. Maybe the worst things there are the fires in the woods, which has destroyed a lot of woods and forests and a lot of houses there. I really hope it will be better soon for those people. Anyway, for me it was very tough because I'm working in the attic here, as you know, and even with my air conditioning, temperatures here got up to about 29 degrees, which is not very good for working efficiently. Anyway, yes, it was very hot. Bavaria, do you work at Bavaria? Yeah. Well, don't talk about beer. I will tell you about why not in a second. Thomas, Xelior, thank you for your invitation. If I'm going to work on the next again, I will get in contact with you, Darren. Thank you. All right. So that's over. It's actually about 25 degrees at the moment during the day, so that's perfect for summer. And I think 30 degrees is acceptable as well. But once it's 10 degrees hotter, it's really bad. Right, some other things. I have a couple of these now. These are Xiaomi's Mi4Cs. Oh, you can see my bank pass there. It's always with me. I have a couple of these, and this is on the charger because I just swapped the battery with a new one from Germany, by the way, which is of course from China. Everything comes from China nowadays. So this is the original one, and I have these. I've opened these phones a couple of times now because I have 4 of them. So my wife has one, my kids have the same, and actually mine is a bit different because it has 32 gigs of storage, and it seems to be a little bit faster than the other ones, which for me is great, of course. So I keep the best for myself. Sorry, I'm not hoping my kids will hear that. Anyway, I like these phones a lot. They're cheap. You can buy them for about 75 euros, and they work very fast for that money, of course. And I'm not buying new phones for my kids because they're going to destroy them anyway. So I got this last phone last week, and the seller didn't tell me that the battery was bad. It only charged when it was powered off, and he should have told me. But anyway, I bought a new battery and it's solved now. I hope. I'm still charging it. Okay, some things that are something that's important to me is my health, of course, and I think your health is important for you as well. I've been thinking and only thinking a lot of working on my health a lot throughout the last years. I think I've started thinking about my health and my weight and that sort of things from when I was about 25 years, and I'm now 41, so a lot of time has passed. But that's what you get when you marry and you get 2 kids, and you really have to choose what you spend your time on. And the problem is, if you have a bad health, everything you try to do is not working very well and not efficient, and so that's why I really need to do something about that. And I just decided yesterday, because I got some new issues, that I'm going to lose 40 pounds. And I'm going to do that by doing my best to eat a lot less. It's mainly the snacks, as you people know. So not tonight, but usually. So I'm going to have more yogurts and chicken and vegetables and less sugar and that sort of thing. But another thing that's very important to me to do, and because I know from experience that it helps a lot, is by sporting a lot more and moving a lot more, getting on the bike outside when it's good weather, or maybe not. Just go outside and move a lot. No, no frikandellen, no, certainly not. And I'm going to, what's the best way to say that? I'm going to stop drinking any alcohol for at least half a year or something. I just have to do it. I'm not going to doubt about it. I'm just going to do it. It will be tough because one of the reasons that I gained a lot of weight during the last years was because of frustration, and I didn't sleep well. I don't sleep well. A lot of things are happening around me, like work and family issues and that sort of things. And I really, when I wake up, I just have to get out of bed, and you know what happens then. You go to the fridge and you try, and you look for things like chocolate, and anyway. I have to quit that. I want to sleep better, so I have to do something about the stress and the frustrations, and just to cope with that. There's a lot on my mind, but I want to do this, and I want to make the best of it, and just not only the best, I want to make it happen and succeed, and that's for me is very important. The good thing is that I now can create my own schedule. There's no one who tells me I have to go to the office. There's no one who says to me I can get out of bed at 7 o'clock and just go outside and do some running or something. I have to do that. So I really have to, and I'm going to. Mark, really quit it, man. this great Black Country Me. Was it? I forgot the name. Oh man, I should have remembered that. Did you tell your name? I'm not sure. Ah, Rob, of course, yeah. Well, I never smoked, so Rob. But I can imagine that it's a lot different then. And of course, smoking can cause health issues as well. But my problem is not that I sit a lot, 60 hours a week, I think, and I should be able to just do a lot more. Like we said, Thomas says, I have 2 kids and they like to go outside. If I ask them, if my wife asks them, it's always if my wife attempts to get them outside in any way, then it's fighting and a lot of screaming. And anyway, my wife has a lot of trouble with getting the kids to do anything else than sitting behind a computer playing Minecraft and Fortnite and that sort of things. I don't have that much problem with getting them off their computer, but you have to think of things that they would like to do and are good for them, of course. Like helping me with doing some shopping for working jobs in a house. Or, for example, last week we brought a lot of stuff to the, what is it called? Let me look. Anyway, I meant something like moving out the garbage, waste and all things. And my complete barn was filled with old stuff, and I just had to get it away. And so we also visited some thrift stores to bring some stuff instead of buy. Anyway, alright, enough about health. I'm going to do it. My wife has probably get used that I'm not going to drink any alcohol, but she will discover that very soon. Alright, another thing, the box that I sent to Clint from Lazy Game Reviews in the United States has arrived. I didn't get any message back from him yet. It's a couple of days ago that it arrived, and maybe he's still unboxing. He gets a lot of stuff from people around the world, I know. So it's really a busy guy, and I hope he will. He's very happy with the stuff I send him, which is a lot. So I sent him ZX HD, a Pro 1 interface, some of the new posters, and more of that. Did I already say I still have to add the posters? Yeah, I'm going to set it in a second. Okay, one of the other things I did last week, and I can show you, I think. Let me try that very carefully. I don't know if the cable will help me. It's a USB-C cable, so it should work. I mean, you can't see, but there you can see there is a white floor now. And some crates on that. So I finished that part of the attic last week, which was important to do because I really needed to finish those jobs so I can focus on other things. I don't have any problem with you guys having a beer, really, believe me. Maybe let me think. No, the only beer you can get is beer without alcohol, but not without sugar, I guess. So no beer for me. Anyway, so I finished that part, and what I discovered was that I still had way too many boxes, crates, and my storage I just started to use 2 weeks ago was already filled and too small. So a couple of days ago I got back to Sugarguard here in Eindhoven, which is situated in 4 places in Eindhoven, so there are a lot of choices here. Heineken Zero, well, we'll check that out, Darren, thank you. Anyway, I just shouldn't drink beer. I have so many other things. I have this sweet water here, it's so good for you. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I like beer, you know. There's no problem. Anyway, about Sugarguard. So I had a storage box, and I already had to move to a bigger one. in only 1.5 weeks. So at the moment, the second storage box I'm using, which is bigger, is almost full, but the house isn't, and that's good. And I really like the house is now about ready. I think there's always stuff to do here, smaller things, bigger things. But I need to focus on the ByteDelight first before going ahead with other things on the house. We'll see about that later. There's one thing left here. You can see that just behind me here. These cable thingies, these cable trays that go underneath the desk here. I have the distance holders as well. I bought a lot of them because someone offered them on a local website. And I think these are enough to get all the cables underneath the desks into those trays, which would be great as well. So I bought them. Let's see. And I think that those things are the last things I needed to do before I can order the pick and place machine. I will order it in less than 2 weeks. Why I'm still waiting? Well, that's because it's an expensive investment, and although it's still awesome that you can buy these machines for that low amount of money, but it's still an investment, and I needed to clear my credit card for that, and I needed to clear space, of course. So I will be able to buy the machine in less than 2 weeks. I think it will arrive in a couple of days then. Although it will come from China, so we'll see. But I think they always ship that by courier, so that would not be a problem, I think. But the one thing I have to do is dig into one of the forums about that particular machine, because it's being discussed a lot on the electronics website. I forgot the name. Anyway, I have that somewhere in my documents here. Yes, Thomas, you're right about the drinks without sugar. I spent a lot of time finding drinks without sugar and without those synthetic sugar replacements, and there aren't any. It's really strange. Really surprised me that there's not one drink without sugar that has, for example, the stevia. I'm not sure what it's called in English. Stevia. Oh. Maybe it's the same, stevia, not sure. I like the stevia powder and that sort of thing, but I know it has a strange aftertaste. So all the drinks that use stevia also still have some sugar in it, and I think it's better to just than not drink those drinks, you know. There are lots of other things, but almost everything that's sweet has either sugar or aspartame or something else in that, and it's unhealthy. Stevia is the only one I know that's really safe, but it's not the same taste. That's the problem. So I have to deal with that. We like milk here, and milk is really healthy as well, as far as I know, and just drink a lot of water. But I still, of course, like some other things. So I have to find out what's the best then. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm just focusing on what I want to do and not what I can do. Right. So the pick and place machine will arrive in less than 2 weeks. So I'm not having it here in next week when next week's show is on. But I think I will order it a couple of days after that, and I'm really waiting for it. Well, as I said, I have to dig into that forum to try to find out lots of details about how it works and how much time it will cost me to set it up. I also have to finish the reflow oven, which I have all the parts for, but I just need some time for that. And talking about time, I'm very sorry, Mark, for you as well, that people have been waiting so long for repairs. I'm really doing a lot of work. You can see here I'm still at this moment I'm actually doing some different C interfaces here, but doing that manually is really so time consuming. So I really need that machine. But can you imagine that I'm even being careful with where I offer my products, because I'm having the webshop. All products are available in the webshop, of course, but I'm also offering some of the products at the Selma Retro, and some of them at eBay, of course. And Thomas Eberle from Syntec also orders some products from me from time to time, and he sells them in his shop. And I've seen that he also offered the ZX HD and the Pro 1 interface on eBay himself for an amount higher than what I would ask for it on eBay, and they all sold. So I think when I'm ready offering those products on eBay, all of them, and all the other channels, sales channels, I will have lots of more sales, and I really need that. But at the moment, I cannot handle it, because I can maybe I can do 10 or 15 of these interfaces by hand during the day, and that's not enough, because I must sell about 20 a day to make a living of it. So a lot of work there. So I really need the pick and place machine. Get using it, getting to know it, and I have to adapt some designs for that, because I want to use as less parts in the machine as possible, so I don't have to swap a lot of parts in between switching PCBs. So next week, that's what I'm talking about. Is next week I will only focus on repairs, and I will do all the repairs I have, and there are so many laying here. And I think I will. I have to wait with the new products because of the because I have to work on the repairs first. So I hope people can wait a couple of days more for the new products, like the +3 PSU and other things. I really have to get the repairs away here, because I need the space, and I need to do this, because I've kept people waiting for this long, and that's a shame. My bad. I'm very sorry about that, guys. Okay, about new products. I think I will offer the posters in the web shop in the meantime, or maybe I will just wait a week for that as well. We'll see that. Let's see. Okay, that was about everything about off-topic things. Well, the last things weren't that off-topic, I think. Now let's get to the on-topic things then. And one of the most discussed ones has been, of course, the Vega Plus. And I'm going to open a window here, so with some things I think are worth showing. So these are some sales from the Vega Plus. These are 25 Vega Pluses that has been sold already during the last couple of days. I think week. Oh, these are the old Vegas. And from the, let's see, 2nd of August, the Vega Plus has been sold. And it's strange that actually the first one that has been sold only got one bid of £200, and after that they got a lot higher, as you can see here. One bid, 26 bids. What the hell? How did that guy got 26 bids and the other ones only one? That's strange. I think it's from the same person when I'm seeing the title. So I think someone has bought a couple. Let's just check it, because the titles are almost similar. And I think, no, it's so strange. There's something strange going on here, because the titles are almost identical, but the sellers are different. How is that possible? Can anyone clear that up for me? I really don't understand that. How is that possible? Did people just clone another title or something? I'm not sure. So for me that's strange. I cannot imagine that, because if I offer something myself, I always figure out a title myself, and these are really about, okay, somewhat different. Anyway, So the first, what is it, 8 months, 7 months, have been sold on eBay for really extreme prices, if you ask me. I think it's just a collectible for people because, as we know, it's not the best product, and all the reviews which I've seen say about the same. That's not worth £100. Yeah, I have the idea that RCL is using shadow accounts. Yeah, that's my idea as well, Thomas. I'm not sure, but this surprised me. So maybe it would be so cruel if RCL is selling these on eBay themselves. You know, that would be ridiculous. Yeah, that's my idea. Maybe, I'm not. Am I the first to notice this, or I cannot believe that. But I have the feeling this has not been discussed before. I have no idea. Anyway, I can imagine that people can want to collect one of these. Maybe, could be. So maybe RCL is selling the ones that have been cancelled. Could be, but I'm making more money, and I don't. Not. I don't want to get involved. That's what I think. For me, it just feels like a pity that such a cool project ended like this. That's the only thing I want to say about it. I don't want to be involved with people in politics and that sort of thing. I really like a console like that, which could have been a success, especially since Rick and Sir Clive has been involved, and lots of other well-known people. Man, it ended up badly. Sky rejected the license with the Sinclair brand in the end. So, man, I have no idea what happens in the future with a project like this. Mark, that's interesting what you're saying. So, how can one people buy 3 of these at these enormous prices? That's really strange. Could it be a fake account or something? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see about the future of portable ZX Spectrum. I have some ideas myself, but it's a lot of work, and not at this moment. Let's get back to the main scene. Whoop. Yes, alright. Another thing then, screws. And I have to share my screen again. I found screws, you guys, and if you see this screw, I will switch back to the screen view it in a sec. If you see the screw, I hope you think that is a ZX Spectrum screw, because it has the exact dimensions and specifications, and I'm going to show you it now. Let's not wait. This screw is the 10mm screw. Am I right? Oh, these are this is the type for all the lengths that are available. So these are available in 6, 8, 10 and 16 millimeters, and they're also available in 14, but not on this website in Holland. Anyway, these are the screws that are used in the ZX Spectrum, and these are 99% identical to the original ones. I also found the countersink ones. The only problem is that Wurf is not shipping them to me from Germany. We've been talking about it, Thomas, last week, and I've called them today. Someone was checking out some things for me. He told me that these screws are also available in Belgium, and what he could do maybe, and he's checking it out and mailing me after he knows more, he has more information about it. He's checking if he can have the screws shipped to one of the Wurf shops. They actually have shops in Turnhout, which is just over the border to Belgium from me. It's a half-hour drive or something. So maybe that would be an idea. Otherwise, I would ask. I've asked already Thomas Eberle, the other Thomas, if he wants to buy these screws with me, because I think it would be awesome if we can have a stock of these original, almost original screws with identical pitch and diameter and length and that sort of thing. I found screws also for these same screws for the plus 3s, so those are 20 millimeters. I also found source for the bolts that are used in the disk drive in the plus 3, but not on the Wurf, but from another website. Anyway, I'm continuing to obtain these screws, which I think is important for the future of original parts for the ZX Spectrum replacement parts. I need some myself as well, because my toe racks need a couple of those longer ones from 16mm, I think, no, 14mm. I don't have them enough of them to complete those toe racks, and I'm not using other screws like except for the original, of course. Alright, more news. A couple of days ago, I think Jan Kuzak, I hope that is his name, from the 8-bit company, which seems to still exist, announced the MBO3 interface, and I'm going to show that again in the other screen. This is his website. Let me see if that's this landing page. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Alright, so MBO3, can I show you the logo? Ah man, it's PNG logo, that's not useful. Is there a bigger? This is a bigger logo. So logo is awesome as well, because it's very ZX Spectrum related. If you haven't heard about MBO2 or MBO3 before, it's the most advanced disk interface for the ZX Spectrum. And I'm saying disk because originally the MBO2 was a floppy disk interface, and it has been the only floppy disk interface for the ZX Spectrum with support for HD drives and HD disks. So you can format up to 1.5 megabyte about it on the ZX Spectrum. And that's not all. One of the best things that I experienced myself on the MBO2, because I have a couple. These are very rare, by the way. One of the best things is the BS-DOS, which allows you to use a folder on the hard drive or compact flash card or something, or even a floppy disk, as it is a tape. So it keeps a pointer at a file at all time, and if you just do load and then the quotes, of course, load quote, it just loads the next file. If it's a basic file, and the same with if you use load code, it will just load the next code file or screen or something, and I think that's great. And of course, you can do the same with ESX-DOS when you mount a tape file to with tape in with the command. You can do about the same, which is cool. But BS-DOS has that way of working with separate files in folders. The only downside, of course, with BS-DOS is that it's not FAT16 or FAT32 compatible. So you have to use a proprietary tool on Windows, I think, to transfer files to the compact flash card or hard drive or something else. That's the only thing that's a bit that's a pity. But in the end, it's a great interface. I'm talking about MBO2 at the moment. When the MBO2 was developed, and I can show you some things about the MBO2 as well. I'm going to put it here. This is actually my own side about the MBO2. I'm going to zoom in. You can see here on the right side, you can see the original MBO2 from the 8-bit company with the IDE add-on. And you can see at the back the MBO2 Plus IDE from Ingo Triple, who has developed that specific version. And this website just covers a lot of information here, and some websites that are still available. There are some specific problems with the MBO2 interface, and I guess it will be the same with the MBO3. I'm not sure. And that's that there's a Z80 DMA chip on the MBO2 interface, and also on the MBO2 Plus IDE from Ingo. And the chip, there are only 2 brands, I think, from that chip. Yes, and I think only the Eastern European version actually works, because the Zilog version does not work. It's not completely compatible with PS-DOS or something, or with the MBO2 interface. I'm not sure. I forgot. I have to check that out. But the other problem is that because of the high transfer speeds that the DMA chip does to the ZX Spectrum RAM, because the Z80 itself is paged out or disabled when the Z80 DMA is enabled. So it takes over completely the CPU for a couple of seconds or milliseconds, which should say that. And because of the high transfer rates, the DMA chip has to be very close to the edge connector. And that was one of the challenges with the original MBO2 and still with the MBO2 plus IDE. And I think the most compatible configuration was an MBO2 plus IDE on a Gray plus 2, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check that again as well. But it works on all the other models, and mostly the DMA chip it works well when you're accessing HD floppy disks, which it's used for as well. So because of the fast disk transfer speeds, you need the DMA chip to make that possible, and that works most of the time. So only when you using demos which use a DMA chip, for example, or some games, it could be more of a problem. Alright, more information about DMA and some questions and some things and experiences are on this website here. I have tried to develop the MBO2 myself, sort of a clone of the original one, because the 8-bit company wasn't making them any longer back then, but this has been in 2004 or something, I think. Long time ago. I see some interesting things here, but it's from a long time ago, so let's not get into that in too much detail. So Jan is now working on the MBO3 Plus, and it will still have the Z80 DMA. I don't think you can read it, so we'll zoom in a bit here as well. Z80 DMA, it will have an IDE interface, I think the same configuration as on the MBO2. But the new things will be the turbo sound interface with a lot of extra things like SE1099, sound drive, stereo Covox, Spectrum, and he will and KMOS interface, and he will implement this all in one big FPGA. And he's working on that. You can see that here on some pictures. Let's get one of those pictures here. There are a lot of other exciting things on this website here. This is the prototype board of the MBO3 he's working on with the large FPGA on it. And he already posted some things about some of the successes he had during the last weeks, which is great to read. I didn't read the whole page because I'm so busy. Anyway, the new interface will be called the MBO3 Plus Ultimate, and I think his goal is to put all those stuff in that's discussing here. I see he's put some updates here after talking with Andrew Owen. I saw the thread yesterday he was talking about, which is great. So he's really into communicating about it very well, which is great. I remember seeing these schematics from the MBO2 interface, but these are from the newer one. Let's see. Well, another thing which is very cool, and I'm not going to play this at the moment, is that he managed to, or should I? He managed to get the NeoJS sound card working with the MBO2 interface. And the good thing about that is that he can load the mod files, for example, directly from Compact Flash card from the MBO2 and play those on the NeoJS, and they sound awesome. They sound like a 16-bit Amiga or Atari or something, or MSX or something with all these chips. You really don't expect a ZX Spectrum being able to play these mod files. But of course, the NeoJS is a computer on itself. But anyway, I'm hoping to get a bit more familiar with the new GS in the future, and maybe we can get it working on DFMC as well. That would be cool. I think. We'll talk about it later on. All right. What else did he do? He's working on transferring some old utilities to the MBO3. He's doing that. So these are the formatting utilities, I think. These are not the utilities to transfer software. Some other things here, some of the PCBs, some of the compact flash boards he's developing for the MBO3, I think, and some more development photos here. So it's great that he announced this. I'm really keeping that. I'm watching it closely what he's doing with the development of that, and I think we will have a very cool new interface coming up for the ZX Spectrum, which will be totally different from a DFMC, but I think people will like this. Oh, one thing I forgot to say is that the MBO3 will, by default, will not have the floppy disk controller and interface on it, but with an added board if people would like that. I've been discussing that with Inco Triple in the past, leaving out the floppy disk controller because it will save a lot of money and space on the board. But Inco really felt that the original MBO2 was a floppy disk interface, so the MBO2 clones also should be. So it surprised me that the 8-bit company is now coming with an interface without a floppy controller by default, which I think is a good choice, because people will probably mostly use it with SD cards or compact flash cards or something. Also, Jan was talking about implementing DiffMMC in the MBO3, but I have no idea what he means with that, because it's totally different interface, and I'm just curious about if he just wants to combine all those sound interfaces with DiffMMC then or something, but then it will not be a clone of the continuing development of the MBO2, but it will be DiffMMC with a sound card, you know? It's totally different. Anyway, I will keep an eye on that, and if I can assist with production of those interfaces, I will certainly do that in the future. All right, some more things. Let's see if what chats came in. Man, oh well, I skipped a lot of these. What? I haven't read everything, guys. Sorry for that, but it's really a lot of things that are is being said here at the moment. Maybe I will read it again tomorrow morning. Sorry. Oh man, there's so much going on in the chat. Did I already reach that level that I cannot keep up with the chat anymore? And I'm even not using Discord or something. Anyway. The next thing, the Harlequin 128 kits. I have them here. I have a stack of them I bought from Dan from the United States. So I think 10 boards or 8 boards left, I'm not sure. And I've one assembled here. But the problem with these is that I couldn't get it working properly, and I haven't checked for months now because it was stored and I didn't continue. I'm not sure what the problem was, so I have to debug this specific board. It's an issue 2D, and the problem is that there are way too many 128 versions at the moment. At first it was the same with the 48K versions. You had version A's up to G's, and also the SMG versions, which are very cool, but I think people would like to buy the kits for assembling them themselves, just like the dip versions like this one. But I really am not trying to sell more 48Ks and waiting with the 128K, but the problem is that I just simply didn't get this working yet completely. But I want to just connect it here. There's no reason why not. I think it boots, but there was something wrong with it, and I don't remember exactly what. I think it was something with the keyboard. So let me just connect it and find out. I I'm doubting now, because there's no bridge rectifier on this anymore, which was there on the 48 cables. So I have to check first which power supply I have to use. Sorry. And I'm going to use these cool Chinese auto-ranging multimeters again. I like them a lot, man. I actually got two, and last week I used the second one with the temperature feature in it. Let's see, is it this or is it that? It's not neither of those. Okay. Oh, that's strange. Oh, okay. So it seems it's the outside, because this is ground, so that will mean it uses the same energy as an original ZX Spectrum power supply. So the ground is in the center pin, which is the same with the original ones. Now let's get the video and power it on. Oh, I'm not getting any smoke. I don't have any picture. What's that? Oh, I switched to SCART, I think, last week. No, nothing. Man, that's bad. What am I doing wrong? Right, left, video. Sorry. What am I doing wrong? It should work. Ah, it works. Okay. It works. Oh, just a cable thingy, I think. Alright. Stop. Stop moving. You son of a bitch. What is it doing? I have no idea. It's the cable problem. I have no idea what's doing this. Anyway, let's just continue. I can always get to the RGB cable, of course. Oh, what is it doing, man? Down. This is working. I don't know what's wrong with the picture. Ah, this is working. Why is this working? I will get the other cable just a sec. I had it in my hands yesterday, and it's plugged in here. So I now really wonder what I did wrong with my last attempt then, because I think it didn't work. Anyway, let's first switch to RGB. Yes, RGB please. No RGB, man. Yeah, what's this? Come on. Nothing. I have no idea what's happening. I don't know. Let's just get back to composite video then. Not sure what's going on. This should work. Something is wrong. You can clearly see, and it's not only the connection, I think. I don't know. Anyway, this seems to work. Now let's get an interface. Well, I remember someone telling me that he had a similar problem with the Samsung display, so maybe that's about the same problem as he had, but I've never seen it before myself, so it surprises me. What the hell is it doing, man? I have no idea. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. Anyway, to me it looks a bit like oh, maybe that's it. Yeah. I have the feeling that the Pro 1 is detecting this as a +3 or something. So let's get another in place. Mini, please. if I have one. Nope. Then let's just get a diff IDE interface then. Where did I put that? Oh yeah. So the auto detect may not work for the Harlequin kit yet. This also doesn't work. Maybe it's cable again. No, nothing works. So there's really something with the board going on, and I don't know what. It's not only the cable. I don't know. However, it does seem to work, which is great. But something is going on, and maybe that's yeah, there's strange things going on here. And oh, you can see now. The types keys sometimes automatically without me doing anything. So there are some really strange things here, and I have no idea what it is. I will switch it out for now. I have to continue debugging this one. Maybe it's just a chip. Maybe it's. I think I checked all the chips already. Maybe it's this specific board that has a problem. So maybe I should just assemble another one. I have to check. Anyway, so that's about. That's why I didn't yet offer the 128K versions on my web shop. The 48Ks are really selling well. I think I sold 250 or something, or maybe more. And that's separate boards and kits and assembled ones and lots of more. People really like building their own Harlequin kits, and I really wish I had these available as well already, but not yet. So, by the way, actually discussing an order to university in America for 50 of these kits, complete with cases and more ZX HDs and that sort of thing. So maybe I have to hurry finishing the issues with this model, so I can sell the 128K kits. Would be great if school actually has 50 of these machines to develop on, and that's really what the guy wanted for his school. Not sure what they're going to do with that, but of course I can imagine doing some programming, assembler or something. I hope they will. Right. Okay, I have one more topic. That's someone asked how you should drill holes into a ZX Spectrum case for these Harlequin boards, and I think the 48K Harlequin is exactly the same when it comes to the connectors as the 128K. And for that I'm using actually a template I made. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Computers, no, it's here. Templates, no, that's not a correct template. Let's see. Where did I leave that? Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. I'm in my wrong folder. Structure. Okay, here these are 48K template. Where's the template? Well, what's one? Should just come to template then. Is this the one? Nope, it's not. Where did I leave it? I made a template for these cases. Harlequin template. Nothing. Where did I leave that? Was it with the white cases then maybe? Let's check it again. Interfaces, rainbow cases, archive. Nope. Photos maybe? I don't think so. cannot find it anymore. Ah, here it is. I found it. No, it's not a one. Ah, damn it. Sorry. No, I cannot find it. I made a template where which I used for the rainbow LED cases mainly, because people wanted a case for either an original ZX Spectrum or the Harlequin kit. I'm doing one last attempt to find the template file, and I really can't find it. I have no idea. No, I have no idea. Dum, 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 dum. So maybe I didn't give it the name template. What else could it be? Overlay or something? Overlay. No. 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 I may have lost the file. I have no idea where I left it. And I don't lose files that often. So I'm curious. Alright. So I wanted to show you the template I used myself. I will just get a case then. Do I have one in the neighborhood? No, I don't. I just store them in boxes here. But usually I would put the template to the back of the Spectrum and just use something Sharpie or something to exactly point the center of the holes you have to drill, and mainly the hole, of course, for the RGB socket. Oh, I have to show you. So at the back of the ZX Spectrum case, you want to have the exact center location of this RGB connector, and then of course it all comes down to getting the correct drill. And I think I just screwed the top and the bottom shell of the cases together, and I think I bought this drill for that. It's a 12mm drill, which is I think it's great, big enough. I'm not sure, I have to check again, but it's my biggest drill for plastic. I think it's big enough for the plug of the RGB socket, and I have that here, so I can check that as well. Where is it? Oh, here it is. No, this is not big enough. I don't know how I did that, but actually you need I think 14mm to make it possible that the connector will get in completely. So this one isn't big enough. Maybe I just did some filing at the end to make the hole bigger. Sorry. Anyway, I think that's the best way, and I know Georgia from Retro Radionics in China uses laser cutting for the holes in the cases, but it's only applicable, of course, when you have to do hundreds of them at the same time, and not for one. And of course, buying a drill with that size is not that cheap. I think it will cost you about €10, I think, for a good quality drill. And if you only need it once, then it's a bit expensive, of course. What you always can do is Michiel, of course. You can always, I know it's not healthy, but you can use something like a soldering iron and get away with some of the plastics. But you have the risk of getting away too much plastic, but my experience with modifying a case like that, you can do it with melting the plastic a bit with a soldering iron, for example, and then file away the rest of the plastic with a round file, of course. So that's what I would advise. And Michiel, you can I could look it up. I thought I would have it here, but it's not that difficult because the sockets are right next to each other, and it's just a matter of measuring. It's exactly 2 centimeters. That's easy, I think. So the RGB socket is exactly next to the composite video out socket, and 2 centimeters to the left. So I think it's quite easy to just measure 2 centimeters to the left, and of course double check the height. Yeah, you can do it relatively to the mic and ear sockets, for example, which are stereo audio, I think, and tape input and output, I think. I'm not sure. These have been changed. So just do some measurements yourself, and I can do this as well. But at the moment, there's no need for me to create a new template. I just feel a bit frustrated that I can't find the file, and I really don't know where I left it. A step drill, that's a good one as well, of course. I don't have one, but a step drill, yeah, that's a good one. I don't have one. I should order one. I'm writing that now at the moment. A step drill. Order stepped drill. I've seen people using that before, but never ordered one myself, and I guess those are not expensive. Or are they? Looking at eBay at the moment. €5 from Hong Kong. Of course, everything comes from China. That's not expensive. The cheapest one is less than €5, including shipment. And I guess if you look at AliExpress, for example, you can get it even cheaper. Let me look it up. Step drill at AliExpress, $6, sort of price. The cheapest one here, oh man, that's cheap. That's really cheap. Can it be that cheap? I will share this with you guys. Can it be this cheap? So, $3.39, and that's in US dollars. If I swap that to, well, let's change it to pounds then. That's only less than £3, including shipment. So that's really cheap. I should buy this, one of these myself, which I'm going to do after the show. Alright, so I think I covered all my topics for tonight. Let me just check what you guys were chatting about, because I saw lots of things coming. I remember now, I forgot something. I forgot the music. I had such cool music here. I forgot to switch on the music, so maybe it was a bit boring. But why not now, you know? The show isn't over. We can always play this for 3.5 hours if we want to. And it's 3.5 hours. Because I played already 1.5 hour of it, and it goes on for 5 hours. Isn't it nice? Anyway. Sorry, I forgot. So tonight you're just me to listen to. Let's see. And I have to check what you guys were chatting, sorry. Now my experience from buying in China is only about 3 weeks. I'm not joking. 3 weeks, maybe sometimes 4 weeks, but Lidl's cheap as well. Okay, you can always do that. And of course, yeah, you're right, Mark. So sometimes I order stuff from China, and then I find out that, for example, at the shop called Action here in Holland, you can buy the same stuff for the same price. So I should first look at Action, of course. Yeah, maybe they have those things as well. Actually, one of the cool things I ordered from China is this. This is a FM transmitter from the car, but this one has a Bluetooth receiver, so you can connect by Bluetooth from your phone. And I had another one before this one. I bought a month ago about it, but that one was just mono. And I made sure this time I found some type that receives and transmits the audio in stereo. And this one does. I already tested it here with my Yamaha receiver, which has a antenna input, of course, and the audio quality is awesome of this thing. And this is about €10, I think. I bought it from China. I'm going to install it in the car and make a video of it as well, because I want to share my experiences with those small gadgets. And yes, my car is old. I have a car from 2006, I think. I bought it back then because it was a diesel and it was cheaper in usage. And nowadays people may maybe mad. What I wanted to say is people don't like diesels anymore because it's bad for the environment. And yeah, you're right. But the thing is, buying another car will cost me a lot of money, and my original goal was to drive this car until it has a million kilometers on the counter. But I don't think I will manage that, and especially now I quitted my job, office job in Den Bosch. Anyway, we'll see about that later. All right. Let's see what you guys were chatting about. What did I miss? Yeah, lots of people are driving older cars, but a couple of weeks ago I had to go to Germany, and the place I had to go to, you need a label for, an environment label. And I wasn't allowed to get in with my car, so I cancelled the trip and booked some other things here in Holland. And there are a couple of cities actually in Holland as well where you cannot drive with this diesel, and it's a modern diesel, you know. It has a what is it called in English? Katalysator in Dutch. Let me check. A catalyst. Is it a catalyst? Accelerant? I'm not sure. Anyway, it has all the stuff to limit the output of the car, but it's still not allowed. And that's, I think it was because it doesn't have some modern parts that are in the most modern diesels at this moment. But I'm not going to swap the car for anything else. It's ridiculous because just think of it. If I have to buy a new car, making that car will definitely do a lot more bad stuff to the environment than just driving this car. So that's my logic. And I'm not driving that much at the moment. So anyway, and yes, when I start a car, I always make sure my front door is closed, because the smell when it gets in the house, when my car is parked with the back to the house, is indeed very bad. So I think there's some truth in that diesels are bad for your health. Anyway, what did I miss? I'm just trying to read the chat here, but I will not manage at all, I think. Yeah, the video. So I have to do a lot of work. Repairs will be my focus for the next week. I really have to finish them, and man, please encourage me for that. And I really, and even more important for me is encouragement for my plans with my health and weight and that sort of things, and not using any alcohol, because I think at this moment I just have to get some. Oh man, it's getting late. You can see that. Discipline, yes, I have to create some discipline for myself for the next weeks. So no alcohol for now. I don't really need it. I just like it, you know. That's a thing. And I'm not drinking that much alcohol. That's not a problem. But I just want to lose 40 pounds. So when I reach that, maybe I will do another giveaway. We'll see. I hope you guys will encourage me to just do it. Alright. Okay, not much new here, I think. Anyway. Yeah, it was something with the version of the catalyst converter. I forgot the name. I checked it, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Environment, it's not good as we all well know, because the heat waves are generated by what we do with cars and production facilities and that sort of thing. I know. I just always think of the countries that don't have these rules and the health issues people get there, which are far worse than what we do here in Europe and other countries like America and that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm not into politics, as I said before, so I'm going to switch up for tonight, and I really hope you enjoyed this chat. I did, and I thank you for chatting along and discovering some things like the Harlequin 128 kits, which still have some bugs. I have to check out what. I will be back next week at the same time. I think this time is better, although I didn't see Peter here tonight, I think. Was he here? He told me he would join us, but anyway, that's no problem. There were plenty of other good people here. So, see you guys next week. Same time, same bad show. I really liked it, and let's finish this show with the same things like subscribe, please, and of course the commercials. Head over to zxspectrum.shop to buy brand new add-ons for your ZX Spectrum. Lots of different products are available, for example the ZXHD HDMI interface or the DiffMC Enjoy Pro 1 SD card interface, and lots more. Set a currency preference to British pounds or euro and check out easily. Also found on our website are links to our Facebook page with weekly updates of all kinds of ongoing projects. And of course, do subscribe to our YouTube channel with lots of reviews and the ByteDelight weekly show episodes.